Hey big kids, I want you guys to say hello to my daughter, Veronica. Isn't she beautiful? Aw, she has her father's eyes. Oh, she definitely gets plenty of iron. This video is sponsored by 1/6 Society, an international group for 1/6 scale toy collectors. Join for free on Facebook. Link is in the description. They rock! Hey kids, here's your big review. The Avengers Age of Ultron Hot Toys Hulkbuster movie masterpiece 1/6 scale collectible figure. I want to thank Big Bad Toy Store for making this review possible. You can get your Hot Toys at Big Bad Toy Store. Click the link for so much more. So here we got the huge packaging. If you saw my unboxing, you know how hard it was to open this, but it has some beautiful packaging. The box sleeve that has a beautiful picture of the Hulkbuster. It says Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron. It has the Hot Toys and movie masterpiece logo. The side of the box sleeve has the picture continued, both sides of it, as well as a cool little picture of the Hulkbuster. The back here has a giant Avengers A logo, as well as a big old warning. Warning, you want to choke on your Hulkbuster, you might bust the Hulk out of you. You take off the box sleeve, it has a big styrofoam packaging that says Iron Man Hulkbuster. I have the insert where all the accessories are held and shows the cast and crew that made this amazing figure. I love you, Veronica. Remember how I said in my top 10 action figures of 2017, if I got the Hulkbuster, even if it was after 2017, it would retroactively be my #1 pick? Yeah, I was right. This is absolutely my #1 pick. Because look at this! Look at that detail! Ah! It's a masterpiece. Hands down, it's a masterpiece. This has to be my new favorite piece from Hot Toys. This is up there with the '89 Batmobile. Look at that. Look at, oh my god. I'm just in awe of how beautiful this figure is. I'm gonna do my best to try to show as much as I can. I mean, wow, look at that gunmetal gray. It's just so beautiful. I know Sharmus really loves that gunmetal gray too. Big up to Sharmus Prime, who did an awesome review of this. You guys probably have seen it. Wow, I just love the arc reactor right here. I'm gonna show everything with the lights here soon, but I just want to show the figure from top to bottom. I'm going to show it from the sides, Hulkbuster crotch. But yeah, I love just the joints. Look at all the gold and silver in the joints. You can see it's really hard to tell because of like the lighting. But yeah, it just, those feet, man, what are those? Side profile of the Hulkbuster, so show you the arm. Just, yeah, I love the gauntlets here, which have so much cool engineering on them, which I'll get to. The sides of the hips of the legs just look absolutely amazing. Look at those feet. Look at those feet. I love the back spurs. Take the camera off the tripod just to make it a little easier with how freaking big this guy is. Oh my god. I just love the repulsors in the hands, all the silver in the joints. Yeah, just the arms are just absolutely beautiful. You can take a look at the top of the Hulkbuster. I really love these little silver, I wanted to say they're like exhausts. I really love all the repulsors in the back. Just looks so freaking cool. This will turn on these backlights as well as the arc reactor. Big Hulkbuster butt. Love that gunmetal gray joints in his knees or back of the thighs. Repulsors in the back of the leg and the little heel spurs. Love these little vents that are on the side here. There's a lot of little vents all the way around. Gives so much attention to detail on this thing, and you only see this on screen for about like what, 5 minutes. I placed this on my bed just to show you guys the bottom of the feet because it has even repulsors of them. These don't light up, but it's just really nice, the attention to detail you can see even on the bottom. Veronica has a lot of light up features. In fact, these are all the batteries you will need. They're all inside Veronica already. It's a lot of batteries. You also get a little screwdriver and tweezers to help put in there, which is very nice, so I welcome that. Thank you, Hot Toys. Start with the head. You just have to take off this little panel right here, and then you switch it on to turn on the eyes. Now the very back of the figure, you take off this little panel. It has an on-off switch that turns on the backlights. It also has these side lights that look absolutely amazing. For the leg lights, you just take off these little parts right here. You turn on the on-off switch, turns on the lights for both legs on. This is how the back of the figure looks in low light settings. For the gauntlets, that's something that's cool. You have to take them off to turn on the lights here, but also, yeah, you can see it has the on-off switch right there that turns on the light. It also has a lot of movable parts. You can move this piece back, you open this piece like that, you can open this piece like that, and you extend. And this is how it'll look in its final battle mode, I guess, and that looks really cool, and you can just place it back on there. And once you take off this panel, you have the on-off switch. You got the repulsor light looking so freaking cool. I love that little beehive effect. And this is the Hulkbuster all lit up, and this is the Hulkbuster in low light settings. It's like a Christmas tree. Now for articulation, this guy has so much. It's really hard to keep track, so I'm just going to concentrate right now on the movement articulation. For all the opening parts, I'll show that afterwards. But let's start from the top to bottom. Now the head can move left and right. It can open up, and it can look up and down a little bit. Now the shoulder joints have these double hinges right here, so you can see move it here and here. It opens up like there, and yeah, it's really nice, so you can make it closer or farther as you please. The arms can rotate 360, like really high, so if you wanted to give a high five, because I don't know who the hell Hulkbuster would give a high five to, because he's like taller than the Hulk. Actually go in and out. If you move this out, it can go in and out probably that much, so that's really good. Rotated 360 at the bicep, can bend a little over 90 degrees at the elbow, which is awesome. Showed you all the articulation in the gauntlet. Now the hand can fully rotate. It has a little spring-loaded gimmick right here, which is great. So full, and can go out that much for repulsor blast hands. It can go down that much. Thumb has 2 points, and you can actually rotate it a little bit left and right. And the 3 fingers have 3 joints, so you can kind of have them do a giant Hulk busting middle finger to Hulk if you want him to. I love how this little spring load thing in the elbow joint is really cool. Now he has this like upper ab diaphragm joint. You can move it up and down, and it can move left and right pretty good. If you put the Mark 43 or any Iron Man in there, it will hinder this part of the articulation, so do keep that in mind. Now he does have pretty good leg articulation, but because this thing is so heavy, these little parts right here, you do want to pop up a little bit to help with the leg articulation. This is really hard. It might take 2 people to really move it. Legs can go forward about that much, and it can go back only that much, so it doesn't go back and forth that much or really go in and out. For safety reasons, I'm just going to show it on my bed, so you can move the knee. It does go in and out just a little bit, so you can kind of do a little stance with it, but not that much. He does have little ankle pivot forward and back, and this part can go in and out, and the little leg spurs have little joints right here. Doesn't really have any ankle pivot. Size comparison time. Now the Hulkbuster stands an amazing almost 23 inches tall. Next to the Marvel Legends Hulkbuster, Hot Toys Mark 43 Iron Man, he towers over the Mark 38 Igor, and of course the Hot Toys Age of Ultron Hulk, which I think is perfect scale. Now before I show you that you can put the Mark 43 or the bus inside here, which is already inside here, let me show you what else you get. You get in a detailed instruction manual, which you want to read everything in here. It really helps. Or check out a video review like you're doing with me. I know that helps out a lot more than these instructions do, but the Hot Toys did a pretty good job with showing the articulation and everything. You get these elastic yoga pants, so you can put on your Mark 43 to protect it when it's inside the Hulkbuster. For me, I don't care that my Mark 43 gets, scratched, because it's scratched up already. I heard these are pretty hard to put on. Shartimus shows it in his video review, so check that out. You do get this cool little silver piece you can put either on the Mark 43 bus or your die-cast one. It's just an optional piece. I'll show that in a bit. And you get a bow damage left chest of the Hulkbuster, like how when Hulk was all messing him up. I think this is really cool. It goes together with a magnet, so that's pretty awesome. So I'll show this off in a moment. This is how you want to open up your Hulkbuster. On each side there's these magnetic parts that you want to take out. They're really easy to come off and on. Lift up the head first. This is probably the easiest thing. If you lift it up, you can see the Mark 43 bus peeking out. You want to actually lift these little locks on here and raise these up. So raise these up, and then this little has a little hatch right here, so you can move this and then fold these down, and we'll change this out later. Now you get a few different pieces that are all magnetic that work to put over your Mark 43 bus or the 43. So this is 2 pieces, but it actually can hatch up into a one, and it's all magnetic, so you latch this up here on the side to stay this together, and it magnetically stays here to be the inner chest armor of the Hulkbuster. So we take that out. Now you want to move these to the side, and then now you're going to see more of the inner workings, these little separate pieces that you can take out. So we got this kind of neck joint of the Hulkbuster, which looks awesome. Really love that gunmetal gray. And then this last piece is okay, it's also magnetic. This last little piece that you will have to put on top of your Mark 43 slash Mark 43 bus. You can actually lift this up right here. You can see how cool that is. And then now you can actually lift this up higher. You can actually remove this whole thing. Also, you can move this up a little bit, so you can move the Hulkbuster headpiece so much. Look at that detail underneath here, the Mark 43 bus. And if you have these things hide here, and you can display this in so many numerous ways, it doesn't look like there's only the bus with the pretty much the upper arms, the head, and the upper torso. So that's really great how Hot Toys made that. Now what's great about the bus, it has this little square part on the back here, and if you go inside you can see that indent right there, and oh man, it looks just so cool inside there. You never even see this in the movie, you just see the Hulkbuster with the Mark 43 already putting around there. But yeah, here's the bus, a Mark 43 figure, just the bust size. But yeah, you do get some articulation with the head going up and down and pivot side to side. But he does have some light up effects. You do have a switch right here. You can switch it on so it turns on the arc reactor right here, and then you just take off the mask, and just like all the other Mark 43s, you just turn it on right here, and then you just put the helmet back on. Snap everything back into place, and then you can, just slip it right in here, and then there you go. You can display your Hulkbuster fully open like that, and that just looks freaking amazing, right? That is amazing. And like, that's what's so great about this. They made it so you didn't have to buy the Mark 43 to make it look like a Mark 43 was in there. Kudos to Hot Toys for doing that. I think that's a really cool option. And if you're wondering, that's what the inside looks like for the leg compartment. On my diecast Mark 43, I have the Tony Stark head, but you can actually switch the heads like an unmasked Tony Stark head, and you can put it on your Mark 43 bus. Also, that piece I was talking about, you can take this off your Mark 43 and you can place it right on here. So if you want to do that, it's an option. For the full Mark 43, it's just probably easier if you remove the headpiece, which have ball joints right here, so it's really easy. So we want to slip this in. Like I said, you don't need those little elastic pants. They're just helping preventing paint scratching. It slips in pretty well. It doesn't have that much of an issue. Like I said, I know it might have some paint scratching, but to me that's not an issue. It's also cool, you can kind of pose like where he's just entering the Hulkbuster, and there you go, you got the Mark 43 inside there, looking really awesome, especially when you got the Tony Stark head. And this is what it's like when you have the helmet back on. And yeah, let's start to close this back up. So we want to put this piece back on first and make sure that hits the nice side pieces. Then we want to put this piece on top of that. Now we want to close up these side pieces first before we put in the next piece, because that's going to make it a big deal. Notice how they have holes right here. These little tabs go inside there, so you want to make sure that they're lined up with that. Before we close this up, we want to remove this piece right here, because this is the interchangeable piece we were talking about. We're going to replace it with the battle damage piece. So this little piece right here goes into this little part right here, makes it very easy actually to put in and out. Now we want to close these bits, and you see this little tab, you want to make sure that it lines up, so that way we push these pieces together. And then what you want to do is bring these pieces down there on hinges. You want to lock these pieces up. Do the same for the other side, make sure they're locked up here nice and tight. Got the battle damage piece in there, so we got this closed up. So we want to close the head back up, make sure it's nice and lined up, hold it forward. Then you want to just put these pieces back on the Hulkbuster. They're all magnetized, and then you're good to go. Can you believe there's a Mark 43 diecast inside of that thing? Holy crap! Overall, this is an absolute masterpiece, a centerpiece for any Hot Toys collector, any Iron Man collector. This is just a beautiful piece of art. I absolutely love this thing. Yes, it can be a little hard to move it around, especially the legs, but you can do some really great poses if you don't care about really doing any deep stance poses, because really in the movie, even if you did do it, it was so quick with that fight with the Hulk, but you can do some really amazing poses, especially the famous fist bump with Hulk and Hulkbuster. I really love all the lights. I really love just all the functionality, all the moving parts, all the interchangeable parts. The fact that you can either put a Mark 43 bus or a full Mark 43 inside of here is just absolutely crazy. I know some people are upset it didn't come with go to sleep arm, which it'd been cool, but think about it. If you want this to do everything that this figure does and still have that interchangeable arm, it would have a super heavy figure. This figure is like 30 pounds or something. It is crazy. I think it weighs more than my dog, and it would be over your Hot Toys Hulk, and it would probably ruin it if you had that pose like like it's doing it in the movie. I understand if this was a smaller figure you could do that kind of stuff, but for something this size you have to compromise, and I'd rather have the function to put the Mark 43 inside of it. It looks absolutely beautiful. It doesn't have to do so much crazy poses for it to look amazing. You can do so many great poses. I can't say enough about this thing. This is my figure 2017 even though it's 2018. You're able to get this. You're very lucky. I know I was able to get this at Big Bad Toy Store. This originally retailed for $825, which is definitely worth it. I know this goes for over $1,000 or $1,200 on the aftermarket, but still, how big this piece is, all the light up function, I think it's absolutely worth it, and I highly recommend it. For more, check out my website at SeanXLong.com. Thank you BigBadToyStore.com for making this review possible, and for more, check out my website at SeanXLong.com. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, links in the description. I'm Sean Long. May live long and love life. Hey big guy, you think Infinity War is gonna be a big hit?
You'll even be bigger.
Huh, that's what she said. Give me a fist bump.
Okay.
Totally worth it. We'll just ask Doctor Strange to help fix this one. Now this does put a smile on my face. Now I wonder if this can put a hat on my head, since I lost